Welcome back to Young ShaneFx, guys. So today is Monday, first day of the week, and we already hit TP on this trade. So let me explain what happened with this trade. Clean up this. So last week Friday, we had, after this correction, right, price was moving sideways, so we're up, down, up, down, up. We had a retracement back to these lows before a push phase with this daily candle closing bullish, strong bullish daily candle for last week Friday. But if you jump down to the lower time frame, on the 4 hours, we saw that price was depreciating as it reached back to these highs, right? So as price come back to these highs, price action start to depreciate. Get rid of that. So we jump down on the 1 hour's time frame. So this was Friday close, right? This candle right here is our Friday close for the 1 hour's candle, right? And on Sunday we had these two candles for the opening. So after seeing this closing, after seeing this bearish candle, then a small bullish candle with a lot of selling pressure, we knew that price wanted to continue back to the downside. So a little behind the scenes, what I did was I put this support right here and say that price would break, come back, retest, give us a double tap before a continuation to the downside, which some people would call this a M pattern, which it looks like a M, but right. So that was the main idea, and I deleted this, and then I went on the 30 minutes time frame and I saw that price respected this area, right? So I went to bed, and a couple of minutes later, like an hour and a half later, I woke up and I saw price somewhere right here. So I went on the 30 minutes time frame. I clicked on my moving average, so that price was getting ready to push the downside. 4 hours, we'll go on the 4 hours. You see this downward channel, right? And on the 1 hour's time frame, we saw this double top formation, clean double top formation, right, guys? So this alone is one confluence for a reason to sell. And if you go on the 30 minutes time frame, you see where price pushed to the downside, but had a small correction and then a next push phase. But I got in an entry at so my entry would have looked something like this. Let me get rid of the moving average. So for the moving average, once the red cross over the blue, you know it's a sell. Once the blue crosses over the red, we'll have a buy. But I'm going to have a video where I'm going to explain all the reasons behind my moving average and the inputs that I use. So let me get rid of this. So after we see this push phase to the downside, this bearish candle, we then saw a correction and a next push phase. But I got an entry around 152.30 right here. Right, so my entry was somewhere right here. $52.30, so it was right there. Stop loss 8 pips TP, 8 pips stop loss, 30 pips TP. So the trade looked something like this. So right, so there's a few reasons behind why I took this trade. Not only because we had the double top formation, so that's one reason, that's one confluence. The market is at downward channel. My moving average showing bearish momentum, and we had a break of this low. Put this across. So had a break of this low. My entry was supposed to be right at the top here, but the first thing I do as the charts is I try to find as much confluence as why to enter the trade, look at the setup, read through my journal, make sure the weekly objectives, and then from there I'll look for entry. So by the time I finish looking over everything, price action was already going down, so we had the bearish push. So my entry was supposed to be somewhere. So my entry was supposed to be somewhere right here, but I missed that entry. But nonetheless, we entered the trade. Same objective, 8 pips stop loss, TP 30 pips. So after I saw that price close below these two candles, so remember guys, they're looking for a reason, more than 2 reasons or 3 reasons for some people. But for me, sometimes I have like 5 confluences that I need to see on the chart, the price action, to determine where I will put an entry or my stop loss. So after seeing these 2 bullish candle close and then a bearish candle close beneath them, that's when I look for an entry for the sell-off. So place my entry right here, TP 30 pips, and then the trade play out. I didn't suffer any drawdown because price already retest and I wanted to get in on the retest. So when I entered right here, price immediately went into profit, closing profit, and then went ahead and hit my TP at a hour and a half later. So that was a trade, simple, easy trade for Monday, beginning of the week. Best way to start the week right now with some profit. And for best way to start the week with some profits. I had our next TP was 35 pips. I think it was 35 pips. Yeah. So my TP2 was, I don't really use TP1 and TP2 to be honest. Like the goal is 8 pips stop loss, 30 pips TP. So if I have 4 inches, my 4 inches, I would wait for my 4 inches to hit TP at 30 pips. A little bit different from how most people trade, but that's so found out that trading this way I make more profits than closing out some of my entries, because sometimes I would close out 2 inches and I would see something like a pullback like this, then I would close out all my entries and say, well, you know, it was a good trade, and then price would then push back down to where my official target would be. So what I do, I stop, well, I won't say I stop closing out partial profits, but like I started to wait for price to hit my TP on all my entries, so you know you maximize profit right there. So I had a TP at 35 pips, but after seeing this candle close like this, I then waited for price to push back down again, and then I close out somewhere right here. So this was a little bit less than my next 2 entries, so I closed out for about 29 pips. Yeah, so that was a trade, nice trade, easy trade, and hopefully we'll get some form of rejection at this area. Hopefully price close below this area, go on the 30 minutes time frame. So hopefully after seeing this 2 bullish candle, we'll have a close beneath the zone. Then we get an next bearish candle. So if we get a bearish candle to the downside, then we'll place an entry right here for the sell. 30 pips guys, 30 pips on GJ right now. But we had a losing trade, a small loss on USJPY. It was at 7 pips. Small loss. Took this loss early on about an hour ago. We took this loss, and then we saw the the buying opportunity on GJ, and we got in for buys right around let me reset this. So we got in for buys right around this area. We could have gotten a better entry somewhere around here, but I was too focused on USJPY for this sell. So yeah, small loss, just seven pips. And now we had this big winner for 30 pips, and as you see, the market still pushing, but we got in. We had our trading plan, 30 pips, risk 7 pips. I think the risk was 7 pips for this trade, even though you see 8.2, the risk was 7 pips somewhere around here, and the target was 30 pips. We got our 30 pips within, I'm going to 15 minutes time frame. So yeah, about 70 minutes and we hit our TP. So yeah, that was a nice trade, guys. Nice trade. So now price is continuing to push to the upside, and we closed out for the day. Now we could go on journal. Had this small loss. This was the USJPY trade. We had $8.82 loss on this trade. This is how the trade looked. So the trade looks something like this. So yeah. So now we're gonna journal this GJ trade. GJ for the buy. Same 4 inches. Break and retest with rejection. High probability. Trending. Market is trending. Notice price action is trending to the upside. So yeah, Wednesday the 21st, and we took sells on GJ. So if you look closely, I have a note here saying head and shoulder pattern, but that's on the daily time frame. So if you look closely on the daily time frame, we have this head and shoulder pattern, right? Nice head and shoulder pattern forming. So we know that price wants to push back to the downside. We have M pattern as we'll have the M pattern forming, as some people would call it, the M pattern. So yeah, so right now we're looking to get at least 40 pips or maybe about 30 pips on this trade. For now, we're just waiting for price to get more confirmation that price wants to push it on the downside. So if we could get a break below this, like if this 30 minutes candle could close below this, right, as price is pushing down, if we could get a close below this zone right here, that would be a nice confirmation that we're in the safe zone for this trade to continue to push the downside. If we go on the 5 minutes time frame, we see this minor resistance here right here that was support 1-2 times before price push back to the upside as a retest, and now price finally break that low, hoping to get a close beneath this resistance here. That's our next confirmation that we could trail our stop loss to break even about 2 or 3 pips in profit. Trail our stop loss about right here and leave the trade to run. So let me see how this trade play out. Easy simple break and retest from the 4 hours time frame. Saw that price came back to this previous resistance level. We thought price would have respected this level as support. We had a bullish candle, but immediately after we had this strong bearish candle suggesting that price wants to push back down to the the support, down to these support areas. Remember guys, after this strong bullish push to the upside, price has to come back to fill this gap right here. So this big push, price hasn't filled that gap yet, which which price might do right now. Have a 100 pip gap right here that price need to fill. So if we could get our fill, that would be so nice this week, because we're already in some serious profit this week. The official risk on this trade was 8 pips, but as price started to push the downside, we then decrease our stop loss to 5 pips. So now we're running 5 pips stop loss with a TP of 30 pips. Nice. So let's see how this trade play out, guys. So yesterday, guys, we got kicked out of GBPJPY for break even. The sales that we took yesterday. So now we're in this trade. We're in a next sell again back to this support. But I might close up my trade for 30 pips. I don't think I might hold it back to this support area, because you notice how price is ranging at this point. So if we go on the 4 hours time frame, we notice price break back into this zone right here, came back as a retest, and then we had this bearish close, next bullish retest, and from there we saw depletion in price action back to the downside. So more likely price will come back to this level right here before a next push phase or maybe a continuation back to the downside. If we go on the 1 hours time frame, we saw that price was at this minor support area. We had a break, we had a push phase back, a correction back above, then we had a next bearish candle. So after seeing this kind of behavior in the market, I went on the 30 minutes time frame to look for entries. But my initial entry was supposed to be right here. After seeing price broke this low, I was supposed to place my entry somewhere right there, but it so happened that I missed the entry, and I scaled in a different entry right here. So the same tactics, guys, same 4 position I have on this trade. The trade is going good so far. So far, minor drawdowns. I think I was in drawdown for almost 2 pips. Yeah. Before trade went straight into profit. So now we're floating in profit. We're floating around 12 pips. Now it's 10 pips in profit. So it's going back down. So yeah. So the same trade setup, same plan, 30 pips, and we're out. I think I might leave a runner on this trade, but depending on the 30 minutes candle close, I think I might leave a runner. If this 30 minutes candle close to the downside around this area, I might leave a runner. If it closes somewhere around here, if price close somewhere around here, then you know the momentum starts to slow down. So yeah, let's see how the trade play out. This week is going good so far, yo. This week is going good, guys. Big winners this week. Big winners this week. Still haven't taken a trade on USJPY yet. Price is just moving choppy, moving sideways. I've gone 4 hours time frame. Price is just moving sideways, yo. Crazy. So I don't think I'm gonna enter any trades on USJPY for the rest of this week. I had a trade on it. The trade didn't last long because I traded my stop loss too aggressive, so I got kicked out of the trade. For break even also. So from that one trade, I decided, well, you know, I guess it's not going well this week for USJPY, so let me not trade it and just stick to GJ. So we're still trading GJ right now. So let's see how the trade goes. This trade that we placed last night, guys, well, earlier this morning, we got out somewhere around here for about 25 pips before price action then pushed back to where we entered, and then we had a continuation to the downside. So it wasn't even break even. We got a nice profit around 25 pips. What I want to share with you guys is I place 4 more entries on a different trade, right? So the 4 entries that I place, So let me bring back everything now. So this is the setup that I have with my moving average. This was the 4 entries that I placed early on, a couple minutes ago, or maybe an hour ago. And as you guys see, my TP for 21 pips was hit. 21 pips was the target, mainly because if we go back on the 4 hours time frame, we notice this area is a significant area of support. So I didn't wanted my TP to be any further than 20 or 25 pips in total. So if we go on a 1 hours time frame, we notice how this hourly candle close with weak rejection. So that shows that price will respect this area. So that's why I didn't want my TP to be more than 20-25 pips. So we scaling an entry, scaling 4 entries to be exact, for 20 pips, 21 pips, somewhere around there, and we got out and we're good for the day. We have 2 winners for the day. Still on a winning streak despite a couple losses, but the losses are minors, as I say, because how I trade, guys, I tend to trade GJ very aggressive. So as you see, this is 5 pips stop loss. The original stop loss on this trade is 8 pips, but as soon as price started to close bearish in my favor, after I get this bearish candle, right, I move my stop loss to 5 pips. Then after seeing this candle close to the downside, I then move my my stop loss in profit. So my TP, my stop loss was in profit around 5 pips in total, while the trade was right here, and then price continued to push the downside. So even if I get stopped out on most of my trades or some of my trades, it's not the original stop loss I would get stopped out for, which is 8 pips most of the time. So my losses won't affect my account as it grows. So yeah, so let us see how tomorrow plays out. Today is Thursday. We have one more trading day of the week. I might not push anything for tomorrow, but if there's a setup, I will take the trade and I will try and screen record it live so I could show you guys why I enter, the reason behind it, and how the trade play out. So yeah, we end this week with 200 plus profits. The target was $200 because it's a small account that I'm trying to build. So we managed to close out this week with 200 plus profits. This was the last trade that I took. Let me just bring back stuff, show you how the trade went about. So that's how the trade looked this morning. To this trade this morning, around 7 a.m. this morning, I took this trade. So once I saw price broke this level, I went on the 50 minutes time frame. So I waited to see if this candle would close below this minor support area on the 50 minutes time frame. After seeing this close, I waited for price to push back at least 50% of this candle, and that's where I placed my entry. I had 5 inches on this move right here. Confident play out, and that suffered 4 pips drawdown before price then went straight down to close 25 pips in profit. After that, we went down and next 5 pips to close out at 30 pips. So target was 30 pips. This supposed to be right here. So yeah, the target was 30 pips on this trade. Could have bagged 35 pips from TP2, because how I normally trade is that my TP1, I don't normally do 1 to 2, 1 to 3 risk reward ratio. My stop loss, as you guys know from in my previous video, is 8 pips. Sometimes it varies, 8, 12 pips, depending on the pair or how the support or resistance level is being respected. And my TP is always 30 pips or more. So I always wait until my 4, 5, 6 entries hit my TP1, which is 30 pips. And then I'll leave a run on to 40 pips or 35. But I closed out my trades at 30 pips. And then price went down a next 6 pip after that before closing right here, and we had a minor pullback before continuation. So that was the trade that we took this morning. we end this week profitable, up a lot of percentage this week. And last week we had our ups and down wins. We had winners, but the losses were more consecutive. So we closed out last week in minor drawdown. So this week was This week was a big win, big win this week. So I'm gonna play a screen recording right about now, showing the profits this week. This week alone, from Monday, as you see, I showed the date. So from Monday we had our winning trade, like a minor winning streak. In between we had losses, like we had about 3 or 4 losing trades on different days. I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and yeah, so we had a nice comeback to end the week. I don't normally take trades on Fridays if I'm up a lot of percentage for the week, but I saw this opportunity and I was like, well, I could chance it just so I could reach my goal for the week, which was $200 for this small account. So yeah, it was a nice week, yo. So remember guys, subscribe, like this video, comment, and share it.